Today, we will walk through one of the most important economic terms, the prisoner's dilemma. Imagine that if there are unwashed plates in your dorm's water sink, for example, do you want to be the first one to clean them up? I believe for most of the boys here, the answer is no, and so does your roommate. This common phenomenon is called the prisoner's dilemma. Prisoner's dilemma is a paradox in decision making with two individuals choose to act based on their own best interest. So here I've got a payoff matrix for two criminals and their corresponding interests gained based on their actions. The first guy is called Bob. He was caught by the police a few days ago as a suspect for stolen with his partner Charlie. But now, the police do not have enough evidence to fully convict both of them. And now they both have a choice to either cooperate with each other or betray each other. If they cooperate with each other, which means they don't tell police anything, they only have to stay in the prison for 2 years each. However, if, say, Bob wants to betray Charlie, which means he will tell the truth to the police, and he will only have to serve 1 year in prison. However, unfortunately, he will have to serve up to 5 years in prison, which is a huge number, right? And lastly, if they both choose to betray each other, which means they both tell the police the truth, they will have to serve 4 years in prison. If you're Bob, what you gonna do? I bet you will betray Charlie because in this way, you will only have to serve maximum 4 years in prison instead of 5 years, even if Charlie betray you, right? So this is what we call the dominant strategy in the prisoner's dilemma, which means two individuals will always choose to act based on their best interest, no matter what the other one does. Okay, now forget about Bob and Charlie. I will give you an example of prisoner's dilemma in the hotel industry. There's many hotel companies utilize the so-called strategy called light asset strategy. They sell some of their properties periodically to real estate company to gain monetary return. In this way, they could create such an illusion about their improved financial performance. And since most of the stakeholders don't care about the source of such enhancement in finance, they were more likely to purchase more share of that specific hotel company, which will generate huge profits for the company, right? And the company could even defeat its opponent one for all. But now, for a moment, just think about what will the other companies do in the industry. Yes, they will take the exact same action because if they do not do so, they could be kicked out from the industry because they just lose the competition by their opponents, right? So now, prisoner's dilemma explains paradox just like this, because this hotel company could have just cooperated with each other to generate huge profits instead of selling their properties for such competitions, right? I learned this topic from my economic class in my 8th grade. And the example of the hotel industry is from an article on internet. I hope you all understand the term after I explaining all these things to you, and I really hope that you could utilize the knowledge to in your future career or future life. You can either predict what others will do in decision making process, and you could also choose the you can now also choose the best options for you in different circumstances in the future.